let's talk about fear and how to stop living from it. Now, I don't want to say get rid of it, because I think humans will always experience fear. It's normal. Occasionally, here and there, fear comes up, you deal with it. But to not live from it, it's a little different. So I used to live from and in fear all the time. That was my default. And now I don't. So I'm speaking from my own experience. I'm not a trained, counselor, psychologist, any of that stuff. Here's the thing. If you're living in fear and you're used to it and it's your normal, to change it, it's going to get worse. See, this is what most people don't want to do. They don't want to upset the apple cart or rock the boat. They want things to change, but not enough to deal with the storm that comes with change. So, for example, I learned how to ballroom dance years ago, and I had a lot of friends who knew that I was doing it and thought it was cool, and honestly, they just wanted to, probably if I'm looking at it clearly, they just wanted to be able to do what I did because they thought they would look suave and get girls and stuff, which is not why I was doing it. I just always wanted to learn, so I learned. Now, multiple times I took these friends of mine who wanted to learn, and nobody stuck with it. Because here's the thing, you show up, it's intimidating. There's a bunch of guys, a bunch of girls who really know what they're doing. You look out on the dance floor and you think, what? What am I supposed to do? And here's what you have to do. You have to look stupid. You just have to look stupid for a while. And that's fine. But a lot of people aren't willing to look stupid at first to then eventually look really smooth and just awesome. Now, I was willing to look stupid because I didn't care. I wanted to learn. But I wanted to learn because I truly wanted to know how to dance, not because I wanted to get girls. So what happened to my friends, they showed up, their motivation wasn't that strong, it wasn't that pure, and they didn't have the ability to, they didn't have the willingness to look stupid. Because the whole reason they wanted to know how to dance is because they wanted to look cool. All that to say, you gotta look stupid first. You just have to go through the process of being awkward so you can get to not being awkward. Now, when it comes to things that I talk about, which are pretty deep, it's probably even harder. Like, if you don't want to live in fear, you have to start being really honest. And the honesty really shows you how much you're living in fear, and it gets worse. You look crazy. It's a hard learning curve. But if you're not willing to rock the boat and to upset your natural flow of life, then you'll just continue living in fear. And that's fine. I'm not judging that. Some people don't want to go through this process, and that's perfectly fine. They can stay the way they are. I think people that are listening to my videos are people that either resonate because they've had a similar experience, or they see that what I'm talking about is genuine and that I'm truly living in peace now, and they probably want that. Either way, people that have peace have probably lived through a severe amount of the opposite to get there, and the people that want it are right on the verge of plunging through really, really hard stuff to get there. So, what kills fear is honesty. Now, non-duality is not transcending duality. It is merging both sides together. So you have fear and you have honesty. You don't transcend those and live above those. You take them both and you merge them together. So you as soon as you're honest with yourself about how much fear you really have, what it feels like when it comes up, where it comes up, if you are judging or shortcutting it or ignoring it or not wanting to look at it, it will always be there. Because honestly, maybe this is controversial, but fear isn't real. Now I know it feels real, and there really is such a thing called fear. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that anything unreal, when it is brought into the light, it disappears. Because it has no substance. Things that have substance, when brought into the light, they stay. They get brighter, they get stronger, like peace and love and unity. Now, when you bring fear into the light, it disappears because you start realizing, oh, there's nothing there. There's no substance. But if you want to get rid of it or look at it, that's what you have to do. You can't go around it. You can't hide it. You can't meditate your way out of feeling fear. You have to go right into it, look at it, bring it up. And it's uncomfortable. And it's not fun. But this is how you merge it into non-duality. This is how it becomes one with everything else, to where there is no fear and honesty. There is just this moment, what you're living in. Like, I don't have to be honest. I have a choice. Like, it just, well, that's hard to explain. It's not like I can't lie. I guess I could choose to, but it would feel so fake and unnatural that I'd probably just start laughing. Like, I got mad at work. For a second, something irritated me, and I tried to get mad about it. And now it feels so unnatural that I can't even do it. I just had like an irritation moment where I just, where you just go, oh man, I can't believe this. And it felt so unnatural and fake, I just started laughing. Then the guy next to me started laughing, and then there was just no anger. It's like, pfft. That's how anything feels now that's not true. But I get it. I've been there. Fear was my default. I don't want to get on here and sound like a know-it-all and sound like I'm trying to teach people. I know what it felt like living in fear. And as much as I used to love listening to non-duality teachers, sometimes the jargon and the cult-like following is just, it's a little too much. I want to be more practical in my approach. Yes, everything is one. Yes, there's no duality. At a certain level that you experience it, that you see it. And then there are times in nature or around people where just everything becomes one, and it's absolutely stunning and beautiful and amazing. But we still live in a dualistic world. So there is oneness. That's the truth. And duality, even if people call it an illusion, it's still what we live in while we're here. So yeah, maybe this isn't the ultimate reality, but it is where we're at right now. So instead of trying to transcend it or go around it or bypass it, let's use it. Let's use it to merge it into oneness. If you have two things, this is what I have found. It's not this or this. It's both. You merge them together, and then you realize the beauty of both in oneness. So for me, I have found the opposite of fear is just radical honesty. I had to be completely honest. The beautiful part of disidentifying with thoughts is when you realize that all this fear and stuff coming up isn't you. You can actually just look at it almost like it's someone else. And it makes it easier because there's no guilt or condemnation. It makes it easier to deal with it. So what happens with most people is fear will come up and they'll look at it and they'll get scared and they'll be like, whoa, that's intense, that's crazy. And then they kind of turn on themselves. And they're like, I don't want to look at that. I don't want to have that. I don't want to admit that. This is embarrassing. This is shameful. All of those thoughts aren't true. That's identification with ego. So when you can step back and look at yourself as if you're someone else, then you can merge all that stuff together. It's why I can get on here and talk about things that would be super embarrassing. I've told stories about all sorts of stuff, but it just doesn't matter because it's like I'm talking about someone else.